Hey everybody, this is Jamie. So thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you're here. So I have some fun, juicy stuff to talk to you about today. I recently went to a coaching, like seminar training sort of thing this past weekend, and uh, we talked a lot about addiction. So this particular place was surrounding recovery coaching. So recovery coaching is a little bit different than what I've actually been certified in, but it's always useful to expand, right? But it was actually really valuable. So we talked a lot about addiction and sort of before this training, I've always kind of thought of addiction as substance related. So like you're addicted to something, like food, alcohol, drugs, sex. It's something tangible, right? But actually, through this training, one realization that I kind of came to that I thought was really profound is that we can be addicted to a lot of things, including emotional responses or behaviors, different activities that you could be addicted to. And sometimes they're healthy, sometimes they're not. And so let me give you an example of what I mean. So there are some unhealthy habits that a lot of us can develop that are brought on by sort of emotional triggers, emotional responses. And when you're addicted to these things, your body is kind of using that as a way to feel better or to soothe. And so that's kind of what we talk about. Like when we talk about drug use, being addicted to food, things like that, people are using those substances as a way to cope with something, right? So it's a way to feel better. It's a way to feel good. And this can be so much more than just substances. So one example that I'm going to give you is something that I've kind of noticed in myself. So one thing that I tend to do regularly is when I'm feeling particularly emotional, a lot of times it could be one of two things. I'm either really like kind of feeling lonely or down, or I'm feeling like overwhelmed and stressed. Either of these two things results in the same behavior. So I have this thing where I was totally binge watch something on television because like especially when it comes, so I'm in school, I'm a student getting my master's, and if I have like this huge paper to write, like I swear I will start doing like the work, I'll start doing the research, and then I'm just like, oh my god, this is so much. And the first thing I do is close my computer and turn on the TV and like watch like 5 episodes of Archer or something. So it's kind of ridiculous, but this is actually a habit that I've had for a long time. Like when I really think about it, like going all the way back to when I was in high school as a teenager, like if I felt like down or lonely or just like blah, like all I did was turn on the TV. And if I was feeling overwhelmed with schoolwork or stressed out or whatever, turn on the TV. Um, Another thing that I've noticed, I'm just going to share all my bad habits with you guys. So another thing that I notice is when it's time to work out, because I do work out regularly, but there are a lot of days where like I just really don't want to do my workout that day. I just don't. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. I swear it's like a button is pushed and I'm like, oh, I'm tired anyways. I should take a nap first before I work out. I totally do this all the time, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Like I always get my workout done because I'm like, that's important to me. I do it. But there are those days where like I struggle and I will so totally take a nap first. I'll lay down for like 45 minutes and then be like, okay, now I'll work out. It's kind of ridiculous. But these are forms of addiction. I'm addicted to these patterns. I'm addicted to these habits, these behaviors. So you could say I'm addicted to television, essentially. I'm addicted to the whole zoning out process where I get to just shut off my brain and not think about anything because it's too difficult to handle or whatever. Or like I have to work out, which means I have to be physically active. So like my initial response is to be absolutely inactive because it makes me feel better, right? So these are ways that we can form addictions that don't serve us. And it's really important to kind of be able to be self-aware of these things, like to notice these things. So I do notice these habits in myself. I never really viewed them as like an addiction before, but it is kind of, I mean, that's kind of what it is. It's my initial response to make me feel better. And they're kind of unhealthy habits. Like, what the hell good is watching 5 episodes of Archer? What is that going to do for me? I've seen the fucking series probably all the way through, up through the latest season. What are they on, season 7 now? I've seen all of the episodes, all of them, like 3 times probably. What am I gaining from that? Absolutely nothing. So now that I have that self-awareness, I can try to, I shouldn't say try, I can start to develop new habits to replace that to make me feel better. So, for example, maybe instead of turning on Archer, I pull up a YouTube of Tony Robbins giving a motivational speech. Like, that's going to get me pumped and ready to go, right? So I watch a little Tony Robbins when I'm all stressed out and not feeling good and get all like motivated and inspired. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to tackle my schoolwork. Or if I'm feeling lonely and blah and like, oh, I don't have anything to do, blah, what do I do? Throw on some Tony Robbins. And can you guys tell I like Tony Robbins? Sorry. Anyways, so throw that on, get inspired, get ready to go. Like, oh, okay, I don't have nothing to do. I can work on my business right now. I can focus on, whatever clients I have. I can focus on maybe coming up with some video content. Like this. So, yeah, so these are ways that you can kind of start to reprogram yourself to change these habits and these behaviors. So, yeah, so that is what I learned this weekend. I hope that this is valuable for you and it gives you some food for thought. So I would invite you to maybe sort of take a look at some not so healthy habits or behaviors that you may have that are not serving you to be the best you that you can be. Maybe they're causing you more harm than good. Maybe they're keeping you from moving forward to be more successful in a certain area of your life. So what are these things that you might actually have a little bit of an addiction to that you're using as a way to soothe or make you feel better when you are, feeling bad or feeling down or feeling stressed or whatever the case may be? What are these things that you turn to? And what might be a different behavior or a different activity that you could replace that with to develop a new habit to kind of soothe and comfort when that trigger comes up? So, yeah, so think about that. I hope that gives you something to ponder, and I hope you come up with some good new habits to replace your old habits. And yeah, there you go, guys. So if you like this video, click that button down there that lets me know. And don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know, what is it that you're going to work on? What are you noticing about yourself that you are turning to for comfort? And what are some things that you can do to replace it? I would like to know. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.